International Overdose Awareness Day is really important to do two things fundamentally: to improve community understanding and response so that we see less overdoses in the future, but also to provide an opportunity for people who have been affected by overdose to grieve without shame or stigma. There's a huge problem in our community in Australia, as there is internationally, which is that people are dying of overdose and it doesn't get the attention that it deserves. It's often a secret thing. In Australia, overdose has far exceeded the road toll for many years, and yet we don't talk about it nearly enough. These lives that are lost are an absolute tragedy, but our challenge as a community is to prevent the future loss of life. Overdose Awareness Day provides an opportunity to actually talk about the issue. I think a lot of people in the community think overdose just happens in the city, in an alleyway, it's heroin, something like that. In actual fact, it touches people from across the age range, across the socio-economic spectrum. So rich people, poor people, and everyone in between can be touched by overdose. It's happening in regional and rural areas as much, if not more, than what it is in the capital cities. And most importantly, that idea that it's just a heroin problem is so not true. In fact, most overdoses include pharmaceutical drugs. The great tragedy of overdose deaths is that the families and friends left behind are often really devastated and often keep the issue a secret because of social stigma. I think it's really important for families to talk about it openly as much as they possibly can, but also to reach out for help. It's a terrible thing to hear that people talk about their loved one dying from other causes of death because they don't want to actually admit that it was an overdose. I think we've got to be more accommodating and more kind as a community to understand that overdose deaths can affect people from all families, and their grief is real and their grief needs attention. But the most important thing for families is, if you are struggling, reach out. There are so many people in the same situation as you, and I think suffering in silence is not good. So we've got a big problem in our community with drug use, addiction and overdose. It's touching people from all walks of life. The best thing to do is talk to healthcare professionals, talk to family members. Talking is a great way to actually learn how to better manage these issues that are touching people across the community. So, the stories I hear from families affected by overdose are absolutely heartbreaking. And I think sharing those stories is actually a good way for those individuals to heal, but it's also an inspiration for other people who are touched by overdose but aren't willing yet to talk about it. There's a lot of shame in relation to drug use issues and overdose issues. Talking about it is really important, and it provides inspiration to others. I would really call on people to reach out about drug issues in their family, to talk to their healthcare professional, but also if you've lost someone to overdose, log on to overdoseday.com, go to the tribute walls, see other families that have lost someone, and also post your own tribute. It's very meaningful, and it's, I think, a great way to share the story that every life counts.